In round 2, we're going to add a few more items to our video to make it more exciting. First thing we want to do is we want to move this video rough file a bit off to the right because we want to drag an image file in ahead of it. And I want that video file to be about 10 seconds long, so I'll look at our playhead time and look for about a 10, and then to drag the video just like you did to shorten the clip, you drag that. Well, it works the same way. I want this to be longer, so I'm going to drag it to where it's about 10 seconds long. On the clip itself, I can also drag the playhead and see where that goes, and that's close enough. Then I'm going to adjust my video to start where it stops. Now we notice that our image doesn't fill the screen, so we can easily adjust that by dragging the little markers and then adjusting the image. And that's done in the preview window. One of the things we can do to make a video more interesting as it begins or at any point during, we can add transitions. So if we click on transitions, we have a lot of options available. For our purposes, we're going to just use fade. If you drag it to the center of an item, it adds to both sides. If you drag it to one end, it'll just drag to that side. So let's go ahead and let go. And now you'll see that it fades in, it's in place, and then when it's ready, it fades out. And that looks great. We like that. Let's add a title to our video. So we want to highlight the clip where we want it to see, and we're going to go to annotations. We want the first box, which is callouts, and for our purposes, so that you can see all the options, we're going to click all. You don't have to do that. Then we're going to scroll to the bottom and select the last option and drag it to the screen. Then resize it so that it looks nice. Double click so we can edit the text, and we're going to say, teach your children about business. And then Control A to highlight the text. And I can change the font to whatever I like. Let's see, what do I want? Lots of options. How about Forte? I like it. And then it's a light background, so I'm going to go with black, and I want to adjust the size bigger. And you'll notice I made the adjustments here in the properties window. Coming back to our timeline, notice that the title was added where our playhead was positioned. So we want it to be there from the beginning. So we're going to drag that out of the way, we're going to move it, and then we're going to adjust the length so that it matches the clip. Now if we play, we see that. Now video on the clip right now isn't very interesting. So if we select it, we can either select it on the preview menu or the preview window or on the timeline. And if we go to behaviors, there are lots of things that we can have the text do. So we're going to choose drifting, and we're going to drag that onto the timeline, to the clip that we want. And that opens the behaviors properties window. So that tells us as it's coming in, it's going to drift from left to right. And it's coming from the bottom, but you can change all of these items. So depending upon what you want, let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Oops, got to go back to the beginning. And it's in place. Okay. Notice that right now it moves while it's in place. I don't want that, so I'm going to change the behavior during. And notice in the properties window, there's during. So I'm going to change it to none. And on the out, I'm going to change it to none. But you see how there are so many different things you can have it do. So that way, once it comes into place, it stays put. I like that. Let's add a closing image so people know the video has concluded. So you're going to click on Annotations, click on Shapes this time, and each one of these is a different type of annotation. Whether you want to draw something, blur or highlight, in our case we're going to use shape. And we're going to select the black box. We're going to drag it to the end. So I want to make this a little smaller so I can see. And I'm just going to add this to the end of my clip on track 1. So that when the video is over, it fades to black. Then I'm going to right click on the title text, copy it, and while on the timeline, click paste, and that will give me a matching text that I can drag to track 2 on top of the black rectangle, and then I can edit that and if I drag my playhead over it, I can see right now it's black on black. Doesn't show up very well. But if I click on the text and click Control A for all, it brings it up, and I can change it to white. And I can change it to read, "Thank you for watching." Just as the beginning, we can change the text, the timeline. We can also change the behavior. But by copying and pasting, we keep the same behaviors from the opening area. And that is going to create a little continuity for us. Right now, this is too long, so we're going to drag it to be shorter so it's the same length as the rectangle. We're going to adjust the length of time that the rectangle shows so that it's right at 2 minutes. So if I put my playhead at 2 minutes, I can drag everything to adjust. There we go. And that's it. You now have an attractive opening for your video. It comes into the narration in the recording.
It has been predicted.
And as it finishes, it opens up a closing screen. Click on Share, publish how you desire, and you're done.